Hi class, Mr. Huckman here. Today I wanted to talk to you about the main reasons for World War One. Now, the main reasons. Now, as you notice, there were periods between each one of those letters. M.A.I.N is actually an acronym for the causes of World War One. The first one that we're going to be talking about is militarism. So, militarism. Militarism is the building up of armed forces in a country. Now, it might be a navy, it might be an army, but to build up strong armed forces. Now, the problem with this, though, is that it causes an arms race between other countries because other countries are jealous. You know, one country might have 10 battleships. Well, another country might say, well, we need 15. Well, then the other country sees that the other country has 15, so they now get 20. And it goes back and forth. Same thing along with army troops. Well, you have 10,000 men in the army. Well, I have to have 15,000 men in my army. So it goes back and forth like that. So there we have the first of the main causes of World War I. Militarism. Militarism, especially within the countries of Europe. So the next one is the alliance system. The alliance system was a system between different countries in Europe. The first group that we have is the Triple Alliance. The Triple Alliance was made up of the empires of Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Italy. And this alliance system said that if anybody attacks any of the other ones, the other two would then rush in and help out. Now, the other system, or the other alliance system, was called the Triple Entente. It's a French word, so whenever we see a French word, we always assume that the French are involved. And yes, they were. The Triple Entente consisted of France, Great Britain, and Russia. And they also agreed that they would help each other in case of attack. The next one, imperialism. Now, we've already talked about imperialism. We've talked about how the countries of Europe went and carved up Asia and Africa. We have imperialism of the United States in the Philippines and intervening with the Roosevelt corollary in the Western Hemisphere, especially in Latin America. Well, this policy of imperialism said that one country could take over another area, people, or region for numerous reasons. One of them, economic reasons. We wanted to grow our economies because the countries of Europe were relatively small, so they needed to make sure they had enough natural resources. You know, they wanted to get the raw materials from Africa and Asia. The next one was the belief that Europeans had the right to spread their ideas and cultures around the world. They saw themselves as being superior to inferior people in other areas. And lastly, competition. Countries sometimes act like 4-year-olds. They want it and they want it all. So the same kind of thing went along in the 1900s. They wanted to have the area before someone else came in and took it from them. So that's where we have the spread of imperialism, our third of the main reasons of World War I. And the last one, nationalism. Now, there is a difference between patriotism and nationalism. Nationalism is having extreme pride in your country, so much that you have even a mistrust or hatred between other nations. Now, that is what nationalism is. Patriotism is just having a sense of pride in one's country. Now, you also might ask, why is this considered a world war? Well, it's considered a world war all because of that whole imperialism thing. The British Empire at this time had stretched all the way around the world. The saying was, the sun never set on the British Empire, because Britain had areas of Australia, it had it in New Zealand, had India, had the areas around the Middle East and Egypt, all the way over into Canada. Well, if you figure across the world, the sun was always shining on the British Empire. Other countries, France took over large sections of Africa and Asia, especially in Southeast Asia. Russia took over areas. They had all of the Balkan Peninsula and all of the areas around the Baltic states, like Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania that we have today. They had control of those areas. All of the stands, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all of those, they were controlling all of that area. Let's see, I already talked about France. Germany had some areas of Africa. Now, so the reason why it's considered a world war is because these countries pulled from resources from all over the world. It literally had people from all over the world being involved with this war. So that's why we have this small regional conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia, who, by the way, Serbia had a secret alliance with Russia, why it becomes going from a regional conflict to a world war. So, hope you learned something within this video, and I will see you all later.